It's time for the BSing with the Guys live podcast.
Welcome to the live show. Now stay with us. We are going to get into this deadly school shooting in Canada and what the left refuses to address when it comes to a lot of these mass shootings that have been happening lately. I also want to get into the latest news and theories after a video of the suspect in the Nancy Guthrie case was released. And we're going to talk about another huge story that the world has been paying attention to, but I don't want to mention right now because it seems like every time we do, the damn stream gets throttled. So stick around for that. And of course, we'll go wherever these chats take us as we get into this. Let's do it. Now, first, Justin, me and you were kind of on the same wavelength a couple minutes ago with this father that shoots daughter over an argument about Trump. So break it down.
All right. So we have a young woman, 23. She's from the UK visiting her father that was also from the UK and had moved to Texas at some point in time. Well, I guess the father was a Trump supporter. Daughter, not so much. But they had the original argument was over abortion. And it was right before Trump, like the election. So she basically asked her dad, like, how would you feel if I was assaulted and got pregnant and they wouldn't let me have an abortion, And his response, which is crazy, he said he wouldn't care because he's got 2 other daughters. But
Okay.
So they got in that argument. And then a couple hours later, it was right before she was about to leave to fly back to the UK. The dad says, I guess they saw something on TV about gun control and kind of had that discussion. So he was like, look, I have a gun. Do you want to see it? And I guess she agreed. They went into his bedroom. And according to the boyfriend, a few minutes later, he heard a loud pop, which was, of course, the daughter getting shot. She died. And the dad's claim is that he was just picking it up to show her and it went off. And he doesn't recall if his finger was on the trigger or what happened. He just knows the gun went off. And she got hit. She died. And a grand jury has decided that there's not enough evidence to charge him with anything in connection to this crime. Texas.
Okay. So I guess they're looking at it as accidental?
Yes, that's what the grand jury said. They didn't have any evidence that suggested otherwise.
Man, you would like to think it was. I mean, you'd hate to sit there and think some father done shot his daughter over some fucking political argument, but I've seen crazier when it comes to these fucking politics. But
yeah,
I want to say there was some shit going on with that though overseas where they weren't quite agreeing with.
Yeah, they're investigating it through their judicial system overseas, but I mean, what can be done, aside from them saying, hey, we don't agree.
Yeah, you're investigating some shit in another country of what happened in Texas. I don't, but anyway. No, I saw the headline of that. I didn't really read into it too much, but that's a crazy fucking story, man. Just arguing over politics. And according to the father, he accidentally pulls the trigger, which from what I understand, she was across the room and he hit her kind of center mass.
Yeah.
And, they were quote unquote experts over there in wherever the other country. What's the other country they're looking at?
It's the UK.
Okay. In the UK. Yeah. They, we're saying that the coroner over there, the private coroner or whatever, the one, I guess the family got involved.
Mm-hmm.
The coroner that they got involved was saying that it looks like it was an intentional shooting. And I'm like, how do you get that from where a person was shot when it's across the room? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just weird. Like, I don't know how you come up with that conclusion that it was intentional.
No, that it is odd. I mean, I think really the only basis to stand on was, you really got to see who he was. It's like, is he somebody that flips his fucking lid right quick and would shoot his daughter over a political argument?
Yeah,
or like so that's where, like, a lot of times you kind of get iffy when they're attacking character in court and it's like,
right.
But I feel like this is a case where it's like only 2 people in that room knew what happened. One's dead and one's him,
so
and they got in an argument right before that.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, they was reported he was an alcoholic, wasn't he? Like, big time.
Yes, and he said he had relapsed that day and had
Yeah.
3 glasses of champagne or some shit.
Well, I would like to believe he didn't do shit on purpose, but you never know. You
Yeah,
never fucking know. But
just crazy timing.
I know. Well, what was done on purpose was the shit that went on in Canada. Another school turned into a fucking nightmare where 8 innocent lives were snuffed out by the 18-year-old fucking, mentally ill trans over there. Some boy that decided to play pretend, I guess, about 6 years ago. This, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, Jesse Van Rotselaar or something like that. But either way.
I thought it was 9 plus the shooter, no?
Well, they may. Yeah, that was the last I had read, so I hadn't really checked up on it lately. I was just trying to go by memory of what I was hearing earlier. But it kills his own mom, apparently, and stepbrother.
Dang.
And then stormed into the damn school and slaughtered these kids and teacher, in cold blood. And then, what catches my ear is I'm listening to the cops over there in Canada, right? And what they're concerned about is that they're going to use this person's, respect this person's wishes and use their preferred pronouns,
Yeah.
So even after this person walks into a school and slaughters innocent kids, that this is what they're worried about in places like Canada.
Making sure they use the pronouns.
Yeah, making sure we use the pronouns so the rest of this mentally ill crowd doesn't get upset. It's just nuts, man. I don't know what's going on. I'm not gonna sit here and say all trans people are just are gonna go off the deep end like that. But apparently there's something wrong because this isn't the first time we've seen this. I mean, it just happened. I mean, shit. I want to say what over there in Nashville in 2023 that trans guy Aiden Hale or whatever blasted through a Christian school. I think Club Q or something like that in 2022 with the non-binary shooter over there. And I mean, Highland Ranch, it doesn't stop. I mean, 2019, 2018, there was one. And of course, I mean, the stats say it's rare. I mean, there's only, 5 or 6 out of I guess, thousands of these murders or whatever that's taking place, but it's still, it's something there, and they refuse to look at it. And a lot of these people are on these SSRIs, which a lot of people are. So it's not like everybody goes crazy that's on them, but it just shows that there's something wrong. And you can't even say that, in places like Canada. You keep respecting their pronouns after some kind of, tragedy like this. This is what you're worried about. It's just so odd, man.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, you think after that, it's like, look, no matter how professional we are, or, how politically correct we are, like, fuck this motherfucker and his pronouns.
Right. And that's
you fucked up your preferred pronoun usage when you shot up a fucking school. All right, how about that?
Yeah, like, why would you still give this asshole the respect? This fucking loser, this coward that walked in there and did this, the respect to say that we're still going to respect their wishes and call them by their preferred pronouns. Like, fuck off. That's, that's part of the problem of what led to some of this is because if I'm not mistaken, this person was already had a history of mental illness.
Yeah, I was just reading that. Where does it say the cops had been to the house, had a history of mental health related contact with the police, and may have had access to weapons stored at the home. Police officials visited the residence multiple times in recent years for mental health calls, during which weapons were briefly seized under the criminal code, but later returned following a petition by the rightful owner.
Yeah. Well,
so there's a history,
Right. And it's not just, trans people that have a history of mental illness. It irritates the fuck out of me because it can't be called that. When some of this stuff could be prevented if when your child or a child starts talking like that, as far as this whole born in the wrong body bullshit, and they start going through these social contagions, which is all this is with this trans stuff, there's probably something deeper that needs to be addressed. There's deeper issues with this person. So if they would take that serious and call it what it is, it's a problem, it's an issue. then maybe you could get to the root of the problem and stop some of this stuff. And it's a start, you know what I mean? It's better than doing nothing and then playing along with this fucking fairy tale that, you know, I need some attention. So when I'm 14, I decide I want to be the other sex because a lot of the other kids are doing it. I mean, what are we doing? You know, we're fucking adults. Why are we playing into this? It's
Right.
crazy, man. It just blows my mind. I don't know.
It throws me off too. And I actually saw a video kind of on the trans stuff that kind of shows you. It's just hold on.
Oh, you got a video?
Yeah.
We like videos. What's up, Matt? What's up, deplorable veteran?
So this is why they don't get help.
You said that your kids are trans as well?
I have a trans child, yes.
And what were the signs and how did you know? How did they start to identify? Like,
From a young point, they just never fit in. We knew before they did. The day they came out was a relief to us because we're, oh my God, they finally figured it out. Like, we sat there and watched it. But I think it was just, they had a lot of angst, a lot of unsure about themselves, where they stood, what their identity was. And luckily, they had trans friends, we had trans community. They asked a lot about trans stuff. So I asked one of my trans friends to come over, hey, can they just meet you? And, you know, see you and ask possibly inappropriate questions because they're 7. And, you know, slowly we just...
Jesus.
She's talking about her 7-year-old.
7-year-old. Can you imagine? These people are fucking sick, you know?
And
They're
they knew
fucking-
before the kid did. Like, I'm sure you
Jesus
fucking did
Christ.
because
And
you
it's
fucking
just-
preached it to them until they decided that they wanted to be trans. Like, at 7,
Yeah.
you don't even realize what it is to be a boy or a fucking girl.
And I guess it's just coincidence that the parent that was just sitting there talking is, you know, a short-haired butch that looks like she fits right into that crowd.
Yeah.
Probably had nothing to do with that child learning that nonsense. That's 7 years old. You know, like what are we doing? That's what I mean as far as adults. Like, when do we step up and say, no, that's not what's going on here. Okay, you're feeling certain ways. For one, you're a fucking child, and the closer you get to your teen years, you know, everything's weird to you. It's
Yep.
strange, but it doesn't mean let's run to you're the wrong gender, because that's the hot thing right now for these young kids. And, you know, as a parent, you shouldn't just, that's what it is. So we're just going to let them do it. You know, it's like, okay, well, wait a second. What do you mean you're feeling like what? You know, like, talk to me or let them go talk to a counselor or something. But to sit there and act like this isn't some sort of mental illness that's going on with these people, it does no good for society. It really does. It really doesn't, you know.
What up, y'all in the comments? Deplorable Vet, Matt, see y'all. Paranormal Channel, you might have to hop on a night and give us some ghost stories, dude. Deplorable Vet says, quote, they started to identify as trans when I told them to.
Exactly.
And that's true.
That's true. That's exactly what happens in a lot of these cases. And it's not all of them, because sometimes the household they come from is normal, but they go out into society, and this is the type of shit that they see. And just like most kids that are coming up, they want to fit in. So you're always going to go with the trendy things for the most part. Well, this is what this is right now. It's a fucking trend. These kids start having weird thoughts because they're fucking children, and they're coming up, and then, like I said, when they get into their teen years and things in their brain just ain't making sense yet, so then they run to this. And then when it's affirmed by adults, it's even worse. It's like, no, you can't do that. I mean, if your kid said, I want to be fucking, you know, a Spider-Man, so I think I'm going to try to jump off this building and shoot a fucking web, I mean, you would say, no, are you out of your mind? Like, no. What
And
are
it's
you
just so odd. Like, imagine your 7-year-old even not doing weird shit, but just like, you know, your 7-year-old son saying that he's got a crush on a girl at school, and you're like, well, let me bring over some other straight friends that we have, and, you know, we'll talk to you about being straight to make sure that you're straight. And then, you know, we'll buy you some boy clothes. And like, wait, I just don't understand. I don't
No.
get it. I don't get the thought process.
Well, and that's a that's a good point, because you wouldn't do that, like you said, in a situation with a straight kid for the most part. You're not going to turn it into this big coming out sexuality party, which is what some of these fucking woke ass liberal parents can't wait to do. So they can tell all their other fucking short-haired, fucking girlfriends that look, my kid is that too. So it becomes this little bubble that you want to, this crowd you want to run with. And that's a terrible thing to do to that child. Because like you said, you don't see it with straight parents.
No.
Let's have a fucking party. My fucking, son says he likes pussy. Let's have a big party. It's like, that's the dumbest shit ever.
It really, how many people at that rally do you think knows that her 7-year-old is trans?
Everybody she comes
Every
across.
fucking one, I promise.
Even if you don't ask.
Yep.
It's like, calm down, lady. Fuck, nobody asked you about your kid,
Have you met my trans daughter, son?
Yeah, I have. I have one, right? Yeah, I have one too. That's all this is, dude. And like I said, it's even worse when it's pushed by the parents, because you can expect kids' minds to go in weird places. But when you're an adult, you're supposed to be past that and be a little rational. And I get wanting to support your child, but you can still admit, well, okay, something's not right here. Like, well, what do you mean you think you were born in the wrong body? Let's talk about this, But instead, it's celebrated, and I'm tired of it, man.
Yeah, and again, at 7, like your kid
7 years old.
doesn't know what it is to be a boy or a girl, or the reasoning behind being trans and gay, and like. This is not shit that your 7-year-old knows. And if it is, maybe CPS needs to come holla at you, Like, why are we getting sexual with our children?
Thank you. That's what I was going to say. Everything's so sexualized with that side it's like, why are we obsessed with the sexuality of kids? And that's what they are. And it's disgusting, And it's the same ones that'll sit there and bitch about all the Epstein stuff. Like, they're obsessed with children's sexuality. And it I don't know. It's weird, man. I don't get it. And in their mind, they're doing the right thing, I guess. I mean, I think the parents have issues if that's where your mind goes, to be obsessed with, talking about your child's sexuality. I think that parent has an issue with needing attention, apparently. So it probably, everybody involved just has these issues that need to be addressed, because I just don't see it being healthy at all.
I don't see it at all. I mean, there's no way it's healthy. Like I said, it's just, it would be odd for a straight family to be preaching to their 7-year-old about, being straight, and
I've got a 7-year-old in the
being
house.
straight is. And
I have a 7-year-old in the house, and I've never once had a sexually charged or any type of gender conversation. It's not needed. It's not even an issue. It's not a topic. There's no reason for that to come up. Like I have a 7-year-old, so I know there's no way, unless your child is hearing that shit somewhere. But when they do, well, as a fucking parent, learn how to shut it down. Like, that's not what we need to be discussing right now. There's no reason to be discussing that shit with your child, especially when it comes to this change in gender shit. I don't know, man. And it's easy for me to say, I guess, because I'm not around all that weird shit where we live, so it's not a problem with our kids around here.
Yeah.
But it just seems like it's an odd conversation to even come up with preteen children. It's crazy, man. And as I mentioned before, it can't be healthy to feed into that shit. I mean, the data shows there's suicide attempts is 40% lifetime rate when it comes to trans youth.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the threats with weapons in school jump up 29% versus 7% for children. They call them cis, but just regular children, so that it just lets you know, man, there's something off in their brain. And that's not taking a shot at the people, because I didn't want to turn this into let's beat up on people who think they're trans, but to not want to admit that there's an issue there, I don't think you're doing any justice to these kids at all.
Not at all. Nope. I think, I don't know how it's going to go, honestly. I was
Bro,
just trying to think, like, where does it end? But
I don't know.
Oh my
I
God.
thought it was coming to an end somewhat, and then this shooting takes place, and the first thing I hear the cop over there saying in Canada is that they're going to respect the shooter's pronouns. And I'm with you. Fuck that shooter and his fucking pronouns. Fuck
Yeah.
him.
we have
Like,
to
what
respect
fuck-
his wishes.
Yeah. Step all over his fucking pronouns. Fuck him and anybody else who don't like it. I'm so sick of having to cater to the mentally ill. You wouldn't do that to a schizophrenic person. You would say this
Fuck no.
person needs help. And I just don't know how we've gone so far.
Yeah,
that,
like when it's a religious shooting or something, we don't cater to the religion of the shooter, and
No, it's-
praise whatever the fuck his beliefs were. Or like you said, if it's some schizo that's fucking thinks the walls are talking to him, we don't respect that when they shoot the fucking a bar room up or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
they do.
right. No, and look, some people tie the higher percentage and the trans youth with the suicides and stuff with being, I guess, what they like to say, discriminated against. Like, I guess maybe they're getting bullied or whatever. So that may attribute to some of it. But
is it because they're trans or are they just weird?
right, that's what I was going to say. But there's something else going on, though. And to not want to address that issue, it's I don't know, it's terrible. And look, I mean, we mentioned it in the beginning. It's not like they're the only ones that do these mass shootings. We're not saying that, but there have been a few lately that it seems like there's a pattern going on.
Seems like they're taking over the market, dude.
And yes, and to ignore that pattern is stupid. I mean, wasn't that the case with the Trump attempted assassin?
Something like that. I know he was a weird motherfucker too.
Who was the one that had the? Oh no, Charlie Kirk.
Wasn't it
That's what I'm thinking of. The Charlie Kirk shooter.
Well, yeah, he
Wasn't
had a
he in-
trans boyfriend.
Yeah, he was. So that's what I mean. It's like it was. It's all.
And he was
I
a
don't
furry.
know.
But wasn't the one that shot up that church recently? Wasn't there something to do with them being trans or some
Yeah.
shit?
Yeah, it's there. I mean, it's not 0% for sure. I mean, it's there. There's something going on, and I don't know, but that it goes to a bigger issue too, with just the way that people are so willing to cause harm to others just because their fucking life is miserable, and they think that's the best reaction to it is to go
Yeah.
shoot innocent, especially innocent kids that have done nothing to your fucking mentally ill. The kids did nothing to this person. Nothing.
Yeah, this
at
person
all.
wasn't even in school. It
No.
was an
So
ex-student.
I don't
so
understand that. It's like, if I'm going to go off the rails, I'm probably going to find some people that I've got some fucking issues with, if that's my plan. I'm not going to go target a bunch of innocent people. Like, if I think my life isn't worth living anymore and I've just got it in my head that I want to bring some people with me, it's not going to be innocent children. I can promise you that. I might go pedo hunting, but it's I don't know. And it's so that right there lets you know too, it's a mental issue problem. If you think that's the best course of action is to go harm innocent people, let alone children, it makes it even worse to me. So that's where your brain went. Well, something's wrong with you. Fucking nuts that some people defend these fucking people, man. And like I said, when that fucking cop gets up there, and let me pull that fucking asshole up because I got the video just so everybody can see his stupid fucking face. Let's pull that dumbass up right here. Let's see. Y'all bear with me. I'm about to share the screen so we can see this fucking loser. Right there. All right. Let's hear this dickhead. Go on.
Media to ask the question. I will say this. We identified the suspect as they chose to be identified in public and in social media. I can say that Jesse was born as a biological mesh, and we're not hiding it. In fact, you're the first media to ask the question. I will say this. We identified the suspect as they chose to be identified in.
As they chose to be. Like they deserve that right.
Yeah.
God, these people are fucking. Imagine living in Canada. Like, get the fuck, man. Oh my God, dude. Oh, dude, it's just so sick to cater to people like that. It's fucking ridiculous, man. I'm so sick of fucking people trying to sugarcoat that shit. these fucking people have problems, and the problems need to be fucking, dealt with. And
Something got to be done. These
Something.
fucking mental institutions need to be opened back up.
Yeah, that's what
built,
Trump was
done,
trying to do.
Whatever needs
And
to happen.
And look, that's exactly what everybody was talking about when he started wanting to fund these mental institutions. When Trump was talking about it, was that, he's looking for somewhere to put all the trans people.
Fucking maybe.
Hey, if that stops a school shooting, fuck it. No, but anyway, I don't know, man. And like you said, people hear, the shit we talk about, and they just look at it like it's just a big, bashing on these people fest. But it's not really what it is, just to sometimes face reality. And the reality of it is these people have problems, and apparently it starts young. And I just think it needs to be, taken more serious if your child starts talking like that and having those kind of feelings, because it's not normal. I don't give a fuck whether you think it's okay to feel like, or if there's, well, that's just how they feel, but it's not normal. There's nothing normal about saying I was born in the wrong body. That's not normal. I don't care how you look at it. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad people, but that doesn't, there's no normality to that. So you could call it what you want. These woke motherfuckers out there, that these liberals will want to argue with you about that shit, but I don't give a fuck what they say. There's nothing normal about it.
Nah, and see, we fucked up because nobody wanted to be canceled, so we played the fuck along
For years.
and it just completely fucked everything, and that's where everything went left.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
man,
true.
if you could turn back time.
It got to where, right, the cancel culture was so strong that we allowed that type of foolishness to go on for too long, and now it's just it's part of the culture now.
Yep.
It's just what it is. And it's like, how do you stop that? I mean, I'm sure that trend will eventually die off, but right now it seems like it's a thing to do with these kids. And I mean, it's everywhere. Get on TikTok for a minute. My God. I mean, it's every fucking where. And I'm like, I know there's not that many people that think they were born in the wrong. It's a social contagion. I mean, it's, one sees the attention another one's getting, and apparently these young people are lacking the attention. And it's like, well, I can get it this way. And then you got doctors that get behind it and start doing irreversible, damage to these kids. And, another, adult going along with this game, ruining children's bodies. And that right there should be fucking illegal. Like, no, you would arrest a tattoo artist in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Maybe we need to put more money into like lobotomy study or something.
It's fuck,
Just
man.
bring back lobotomies. Make
Telling you
lobotomies great again.
Something. But no, you hit it on the head. Like you said, we let it go too long out of fear of this whole cancel shit. Because man, let's face it, people were losing their jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, back then, social media, before it was, Elon took over, you were basically voiceless. If you said anything like that, your platform was stripped from you. You can believe if this was a few years ago, we wouldn't be on here.
Fuck no.
They wouldn't allow us on here. They only do it now because they know they got competition out there. There was no competition a few years back when Twitter was run by Jack Dorsey and the rest of them clowns, and then Zuckerberg running Facebook, and then the people that were running this platform. There was it was one-sided, and they showed that shit especially during COVID, So it's just it was allowed to go on too long where it became the norm, so to say. And now, people are starting to push back against it now, but is it too fucking late? You got people like the cops up in Canada giving this asshole that slaughtered children the respect to use the right pronouns. It's like piss on him, man. It's crazy. It's nuts, dude. But either way, man, a bunch of kids killed, dude. I was watching. They had a 12-year-old that apparently did survive, but she's like in total fucking just, critical condition, tubes and shit all up. I mean, just horrible fucking picture, that came across X. And I just couldn't imagine, man, no matter who did it, doesn't matter trans, this, that, and the other, but just the walk into a fucking school of all places, man. These people they make me sick, dude. They really do. It makes you want to get a hold of one of these motherfuckers. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what drives somebody to that point. I mean, who do you really have a problem? Like, who do you have a problem with? Like, say you're this person that just did it. Like, well, apparently something drove you to that. So why take it out on people that have nothing to do with it? It's weird.
I don't get it.
I don't know if these people is just to cause as much panic and inflict as much, just pain and suffering.
Yeah, but there's I mean, not that it would make it any better, but there's no message behind it. Like with terrorist attacks and shit, there's usually some sort of religious message behind it of, boom, okay, we did this. Now we have the world's attention. This is what we want to say. You know what I mean?
Good point.
Or,
Yeah.
they'll leave a note behind if it is, a mass shooting or whatever. And there's some sort of message to it, right or wrong. And like I said, it doesn't make it better that there's not. But the last couple has just been nothing. It's just saying, I want to shoot. No,
that's a good point. I think that's what drives people so crazy about some of these stories like this. Is like you said, there's no answers to why. Like, what was the motive? And like you say, what was the messaging? Not that it would make it any better, but at least, like you said, when a terrorist strikes, they let you know this is why. I mean, when the Unabomber was fucking sending bombs in the mail, he let you know why.
Right.
I mean, it may not have made sense in our heads, like he was out of his fucking mind, but at least, there was a logic in his mind of why I'm doing this. I don't understand the message that it does to go shoot up people that have done absolutely nothing to anybody. They're too young to have done anything wrong, that justified being slaughtered. I don't know. I guess if you understood it, you'd be just as crazy as them. But
yeah,
it just sucks every time these stories come up. I mean, when you start involving people's kids and all, because to get that phone call as a parent, I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, I don't know. It's nuts.
Yeah, and like, I couldn't imagine seeing it on the news. I'm sure you see that first. It's like, shooting at so-and-so school. And it's like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah, so then it's like, whoa.
And then you have no answers because there's so much chaos going on.
Yeah, and you start getting, nowadays, you start getting the alerts on your phone. School's on lockdown and your child's in that school. It's got to be horrific, dude. It's got to be fucking horrific. And all for like you said, makes zero sense. Like, what in your sick mind, this sick, disgusting coward that did this, like, what were you hoping to accomplish? Like, what did it change? I mean, and because then I think this transfer, they shot themselves afterwards, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Just sit in your room and do that shit. If you're fed up that much, just put one in your own fucking head and leave everybody else out of it.
Be done.
Yeah. It's simple. I don't know, man.
I don't know. But on a lighter note, I mean, it's a week or so old news, but did you see that fucking dude that he walked into the jail that Luigi Mangione is being held at, and he said he was an FBI agent, and he had direct orders from a judge for the jail to release Luigi into his custody, and that he was a free man.
I saw the headline of that. Of course, like, I don't, really dig into too much unless we're going to talk about it on here. But yeah, I did see the fucking headline on it. So he was there to I guess just thought he was going to walk out with him.
He just thought, they were just going to release him in his custody, and he's going to walk out and free Luigi.
People are obsessed with that dude, man. It's crazy.
I just don't like. How did you think that was going to go? They were just going to be like,
that's another, yeah.
All right.
That's what I mean. The mind of a fucking mentally disturbed person it's just, I don't know. It's baffling, man, because you just can't get into it. And like, what were you thinking? And apparently this person wasn't a kid that did this.
No, he's
so
36.
Yeah. So how did you function for 36 fucking years when that's your thought process? Like, it's odd, It's not like it was a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old that did it. I mean, 36 fucking years old, and you've managed to function in society. But then you decide one day that I'm just going to go walk into the jail and try to come out with this dude.
Says Anderson approached the jail intake area around 6:50 p.m. Wednesday and told a uniformed jail officer that he was an FBI agent in possession of paperwork, quote, signed by a judge authorizing the release of a specific person in custody at the jail. When they asked for his credentials, Anderson showed them a Minnesota driver's license, threw documents at them, and claimed to have weapons. He had a pizza cutter.
A pizza cutter. Wow. I didn't know it got
Dude.
that deep. Damn. And I'm with you. Like, what was the end result you thought this was going to lead to? It's
And then he drove from Minnesota to New York to do it.
yeah, some people, my God, dude. It's scary because there's people like that walking amongst us every day.
Yeah.
They just haven't gone over that cliff yet, but they're right there on the edge, and you never know who it is. I mean, it could be the guy you get into a fucking road rage argument with, or something. It's crazy.
He just hops out on you with a pizza cutter. What's up, motherfucker?
Oh, man. I don't know. Some people hail that guy a hero. That old man, what the fuck's his name?
Mangione.
Yeah, that.
Maganoi or whatever. I don't fucking know. But Buddy tried to free him.
Yeah, well, what you gonna do?
He used his Minnesota driver's license as an FBI credential. That's great.
It's fucking nuts.
I keep seeing a headline that no, it didn't work. It almost did because they at least asked for his credentials. They were like, "Oh, really?"
I'm surprised it didn't work, man. It seemed foolproof.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I keep seeing a headline right before I come up here. Every time I fucking refresh Facebook, it's all I saw. But it's about a judge. Hold on.
Judge. What up, everybody tuning in while Justin finds whatever the hell he's finding. If y'all ain't hit subscribe yet, please do it. If it's your first time tuning in, we do this about 3 times a week. Talk some shit. About to get into the chats with y'all, see what's going on, see what y'all thoughts on all this crazy shit. These fucking trans people shooting up schools and, just fucking, I don't know. That one still got me disgusted. Just can't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to go too hard because then you just start getting into where it's just, trans. It's really just the school shootings in general. It's such a, I don't know. It's senseless, Makes no fucking sense at all to just decide that that's who you're going to take out your fucking problems on. But anyway, I know we've moved on from that. So what you got?
So a judge slashes the jury sentence recommendation. GOP blasts the decision. So it's a Jefferson County judge, and it's sparking a ton of outrage among Louisville Republicans. So the judge sentenced Christopher Earl Thompson to 30 years rather than the jury's recommended 65.
Oh, geez. And what was he convicted of?
After a 4-day trial in December, jurors found that Thompson, wearing a ski mask and armed with a gun, had forced his way into a woman's car in July 23 and made her perform oral sex on him twice. Between the sexual consults, he compelled her to drive to an ATM and withdraw money from her account, according to the police report. So the judge did not take the jury sentences because he cited his upbringing and years of trauma. And see, the headlines were saying that the judge did it because, quote, he's black. But he did cite his years of trauma and his difficult upbringing, and basically he didn't know any better. So
would that have been, Jeffrey Dahmer's excuse?
It probably should have been.
I mean, we can make excuses for everybody who commits crimes, but it doesn't change the fact that these people don't need to be walking around in society. I mean, 30 years is a long time. Don't get me wrong, but 65 sounds better for what he did. And it probably wasn't his first offense, if I had to guess. I mean, but that's these liberal judges, man. It's always.
And he's 23.
Jeez.
Says, Davis said she believed the jury's recommended sentence was excessive and left no chance for the 23-year-old's rehabilitation.
Yeah, unless it was her that got forced into a car to suck his dick,
Yeah.
Then at gunpoint, then we see how she feels. Then that's a slap in the face to a victim, and that's really what these fucking liberal judges love doing. Fuck these victims. Let's advocate for the person that committed the crime because they couldn't help it. Their upbringing. Fuck their upbringing. They don't need to walk around with normal people like us every fucking day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, fuck that. Lock him up. But she says, unfortunately, he fell through the cracks and ended up before this court as an 18 or 19-year-old.
Yeah, sad fucking story.
This court does not believe that Mr. Thompson, if given the resources that he can get while incarcerated, is beyond being rehabilitated.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a sad fucking story and blah, blah, upbringing. Okay, well, the reality of it is, like I said, he's not a functioning fucking member of society. So, you know, there's a lot of sob stories you can, you know, give to criminals, but there's a place for him, and it's not walking around my family or, you know, out in fucking public.
Not at all. And there's a lot of great motherfuckers that had terrible fucking upbringings. It's not an excuse.
No, it's true. Yeah, there's a lot of people that go the total opposite direction, you know, and look, you know, there are a lot of these, you know, save everybody liberals out there that everybody's worth saving. That's their mentality. But it doesn't, you know, change the fact that some people are just not cut out to live in normal society. Their brain just isn't wired that way. There's no help for some people. So you can feel sorry for them. And then what? Feel sorry for him and let him stab a girl in the subway like that one did because he was arrested, you know, umpteen times and the judges kept letting him out because he's worth saving. So then next thing you know, he's slaughtering some innocent young girl on a fucking subway. This is what it turns to. So I have no sympathy for these motherfuckers. I don't care what the excuse is. You know, there's places that they can be put, and one of them is prison when you don't know how to fucking act in society. So fuck them. I'm tired of people giving these assholes excuses, man. This is part of the fucking problems in those cities. That's why they're as terrible as they are.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yep. I don't get it.
No. But anyway, the latest, have you seen I assume you saw the Ring video, or I say Ring, whatever, fuck Nest or whatever.
No, I didn't. I purposely did not watch it.
What? You stayed away from it?
I did.
All right. Well, let me pull it up. Let's pull it up, man, because it's you know, it doesn't show much, I guess, but a lot of these videos, you'd be surprised what leads to people fucking like, oh fuck, I recognize his walk or something, you know, and shit like that. But so, you know, a lot of people are trying to guess just his demeanor and all, if it says anything about who it may be. Now, what this person's pointing at is, you know, this person looked down quick, like they knew there was something that was going to be filming them. Yeah. Like they know the property. Now, this is theories. It could be reaching, but I don't know. It's just, it's weird. It's got a gun. You can see the gun.
Is that a gun? That's what I was about to ask.
Oh, yeah. That's a gun. And stop popping that watch slow motion bullshit up. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. There wasn't much you could really tell from that besides it's a male. But it did sort of change my mind, because I know last time we were on there talking about it, I was sold on the possibility of it being a family member that got into an argument with this lady. Yeah. You know, I was like, they're going to find out it was something like that, got out of hand, and you know, maybe the brother-in-law or whatever, the names that were coming up. And then they released this video. Why they didn't release this earlier, I don't know. You know, they've had that fucking footage.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember you brought it up the last time we were on, like, well, where the fuck is the footage before they disabled the camera? Well, there it is. And they may have had their reason for holding it. You know, maybe they had fucking, I don't know, maybe they didn't want to give away certain aspects of what the person was wearing in case they were talking to somebody that was going to, you know, kind of give away. You know how the cops are. They'll be like, well, how did you know that? How did you know the perpetrator had black gloves? It's like, oh, yeah. Fuck. You know, so things like that. I mean, but I think they could have got that footage out a lot sooner. I don't know what the fuck was up with that. I mean, it took a while, but still no ransom as far as any proof of life when it comes to that. I mean, that's still an odd fucking thing, man. So it's just got the conspiracies fucking just all over the place right now. It's I don't know, man. It's a crazy one that like I said, I didn't pay much attention to it the first, few days. Then it started, well, this is kind of intriguing.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I saw TMZ mention that some Bitcoin was moving around the wallet that was requesting the Bitcoin or some shit like that, like the wallet that was in the ransom.
Yeah, but it was somebody saying that they know who the kidnapper is, but I'm not going to tell you unless you give me a Bitcoin. And TMZ claims they did their research and saw that it was a active wallet, basically. Now, some people are, blowing that off, saying, fuck whatever TMZ has to say, because the guy that runs it, Harvey Levine, whatever his name is, he was named in the Epstein files. So they're like, of course, he's trying to do anything he can to kind of, push that off of him. But so I don't know. He said that they had received a third communication in email about 90 minutes prior. It's like prior to what? I don't know. That's what he said. But either way, he said it was kind of bizarre from someone who claims to know the identity of the kidnapper. The sender stated that he unsuccessfully tried to contact Savannah Guthrie and the sister and the brother via email and text. And in exchange for revealing the kidnapper's name, they demanded 1 Bitcoin be sent to a specified wallet address, which TMZ confirmed is active. Now, like you said, I mean, what does that mean? It could just be a fucking same thing as a fucking email scam.
Yeah.
With the Nigerian prince, so who knows? But I don't think there's much into that. Like, why? What are you reaching out to TMZ for and demanding a Bitcoin? I mean, it's weird. That's weird. That just sounds like somebody trying to take advantage of the situation.
It does.
But
Paranormal Channel says they found a glove. JLR Investigates popped up.
They did. Yeah, they found a black glove. They ought to be able to get tons of information from that. If nothing else, a DNA profile.
Yeah.
So if this person's really fucked, if they've ever been in the system before,
Absolutely. I've seen so much that goes down with the investigations where, like, they'll take the glove and figure out what brand it is and what stores within a 100-mile radius sells that glove, and they want to know every purchase of that glove in the last 6 months, which is actually how they caught Brian Koberger, if I'm not mistaken, through Amazon with the knife sheath.
It's crazy, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's weird too. Like, why? Not that the perpetrator needs to get away, but why would you even? It's just crazy the shit some people leave behind when committing crimes like that.
Yeah.
Because why would a fucking glove? I mean, you'd think
you'd realize it wasn't in it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what was going on at the time when they dropped it. Maybe they were struggling, probably trying to haul the body off, if I had to fucking guess. But so maybe they, in the heat of all that, didn't realize it. But man, that's a big step they made finding that. Because like I said, if nothing else, there's a DNA profile because I'm sure the person was sweating in it. And I don't know how it works, but I mean, I don't know if they could turn inside out and get fingerprints or not, or if all that would kind of be ruined if it's too sweaty in there.
We actually just somebody just hit our work, some robbers at night, and the police came the next day and they were trying to swab for fingerprints, and he kept asking me, like, do you have any surfaces that are shiny? I need shiny surfaces. He was like, really, I need like stainless, shiny surfaces, smooth. He was like, anything with ridges, anything, matte, I can't really do shit with it. I was like, damn, I didn't know that.
Really?
So like door handles of the trucks, the push bar at work, because it wasn't shiny, it was like coated in like just tarnish and shit from over the years. The refrigerator in the kitchen, all that shit. He was like, I can't pull anything off of that.
No shit.
Well, damn.
Can't or just didn't? It's hard.
He said he couldn't. Like he tried like, every single surface.
Like, oh, okay. Because I was just wondering if it's like a big high profile murder case, if they would, still have that same attitude, or if it's just being lazy because it's harder.
He had the whole kit out. And basically everything I showed him, he dusted it down. He was like, no, man. And like the first 4 or so spots that Buddy touched, he was just like, no, that's not going to work because da-da-da-da-da. And once we got to the last like 5 or 6, he was like, fuck it, I'll dust them. He was like, I got to find something. And
my mind always goes to skeptical, because I remember years ago, my house was broke into, and shit was stolen out of it. Well, that was back before flat screen TVs. It was a big tube TV that the person had grabbed and moved to unplug the video game system that they were stealing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they left the TV, but the only prints that would have been back there were the person who moved that television, because the television never moved. It sat there for years. So I told the cop that. The detective was there taking the fucking, my name and all the information or whatever. And I told him, and I said, look, do you think maybe there's a way to pull the prints off of whoever grabbed the back of that TV? Oh, no, I don't think that's going to lead to anything. And I'm like, what the fuck? How do you know? The fuck do you mean? Like, if you pick up prints and this person was in the fucking system, now you know who just broke into my fucking house. But the motherfucker was too lazy. Because he didn't say no. He just, I don't think that's going to lead to anything. What the fuck? Like, so.
Yeah, no, dude, this cop wouldn't leave me the fuck alone. Like, I was like, dude, I don't even fucking care that much. Like, please, I have shit to do, man.
Like,
like,
saying my shit, this is work.
Yeah, dude. He was in my face for like 3.5, 4 hours over this fucking burglary. And I was like, bro, if you don't fucking leave, please, come back on a Saturday when I'm not here.
I wish I'd have had him when fucking my shit was broken into, because they didn't give a fuck. They couldn't care less.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's the cop that you want to have when it is your shit, because he blew my phone up for like 5 days straight to come back and download the video footage off the surveillance tapes. And it was, so I think it happened on a Friday. And then that next week I was sick, so I didn't work. And then it was New Year's. So, I mean, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they called my phone like, hey, can I come get the, I'm like, no, I'll be back at work next Monday. All right. And then call me Friday. Like, hey, just making sure, like, you going to be able to give me that video footage Monday? I'm like, yes. Yeah. Dude, he wasn't fucking playing.
Well, then going back to that, like this glove that they found. So would that be the type of surface? I mean, can they get a print off of a vinyl glove? Or, I mean,
probably not, but I mean, if you've ever put on like a rubber glove and your hand isn't super sweaty, it'll like rip your fucking hairs, So
yeah, that's what I mean. I think there's a lot in that glove, man. I think
that's what I would think, between dead skin and hairs.
Yeah,
but somebody said that they thought that the person had 2 gloves on.
Oh, if that was the top glove.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Somebody said, ask OJ. Deplorable Vet said the glove won't fit.
Must have quit.
Yep.
Yeah, I was looking at the net worth of just Savannah alone. They're saying of $40 million. It's a lot of money, man. So that it could be as simple as a ransom type thing. That I still think it went bad. I just can't see this lady still being with us and them not sending an ounce of proof of that, but yet still wanting money.
Yeah.
That right there has to have everybody concerned, as far as anybody involved with this case, because it's just not likely that they wouldn't at least say, look, here she is. Now we want our fucking money. I can't see that. But being worth that kind of money, they got idiots out there, I guess, that would do this. But then it's like, do they really? Though, I mean, how many cases like that do you hear about in this country? I mean, it's not like you're in fucking, over there in Brazil, where the cartel's running around kidnapping somebody because they think they have wealthy family members that are going to pay them. So it's like, does it really happen that much over here, or is that just, movie type shit? Not saying it's impossible, but I don't remember any cases like that. I mean, this isn't, like I said, it's not Hollywood. I mean, in Hollywood, it happens every fucking action movie, but as far as like in reality, how many of these cases have you ever heard of that was just totally about ransom when it comes to a kidnapping in America,
Not many. Not many at all.
Yeah, I can't think of any. I'm not going to say there isn't, but I can't think of any that just made nation, because it would have, I mean, usually it's kidnapping with ransom. It's going to make news. And I don't know. It just seems odd,
it's
man.
Usually like Americans getting kidnapped outside the country.
Right, exactly. That's what I mean. It's not such an American thing for some reason. I guess because it's hard to get away with. I mean, imagine that. How are you going to get away with that? I mean, you got to have the money drop, which now, I mean, they're wanting Bitcoin, but still, I mean, it's very risky, if you're in this country. Yeah,
and you have to release the witness.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
yeah. Exactly. This witness has to be released, and then you just hope that they don't know anything about you to, to get you caught up legally. So yeah, it's weird, man. It's hard to believe that that's just straightforward. Somebody went in there to kidnap this lady for money. Now, could it have been a robbery because they thought maybe there was some shit in the house that they wanted? Possibly. But it just seems like this person went overboard with the dress up and the gear to just go rob a house for some items. I don't know, man. Usually when you look, man, every robbery I've ever seen, it's just some fucking crackhead that's trying to get in your house or something because they want to steal something they can go pawn or something. It's usually not these sophisticated robberies and shit, which I don't know how sophisticated this one is, but some people are saying that they some signs pointed that they had more than one person involved. So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's can't make heads or tails of it right now, but it damn sure ain't looking good for the family. If you're waiting for that lady to come home, that's for sure.
No, it's not looking great.
No, I was gonna pull up this jackass that they're saying, which they were like alleged, suspect. I'm like, alleged. That motherfucker walked up to the door looking like that. Has
he got diamond teeth?
No, I think he's got a light in his mouth. Like
I thought he was bling-blinging, dude.
But you could see in the video they showed, he went up, he must have saw or knew the camera was there or something, and he walked back off the porch and grabbed a bunch of weeds. And what the fuck he was going to do with that, I don't know. But like you can see him, man, he seems calm and everything. It's almost like he's scoping it out. Like, I don't know. It's odd, man.
Do we have a picture of son-in-law?
Yeah, oh yeah. They done tried that. They done tried putting his face in, trying to say that it kind of matches, but I don't want to pull that up and throw that on him, but I don't know. No, nobody's been able to really decipher, but hopefully, like I said, the glove that they found will lead to something, man. I don't know. We'll see. But
it looks like a white guy, huh?
Yeah, I mean, from that it does. It's hard to really,
like
really
he looks
tell
like he's got like a Ron Jeremy stash or something.
He does, yeah. That's what a lot of people pointed out was you can't see it from there, but you could see it there in that upper lip. But is that two sets of gloves? It might be, huh? That might be vinyl gloves on top of.
Looks
either that or
thick.
It does, but that bottom hand looks more like vinyl opposed to a thick leather glove.
Yeah.
So if that's vinyl glove, then yeah, that's over something else for sure. Unless he's got some fat sausage fingers, which I don't.
It just looks like black mechanic gloves, like them thick vinyl.
Yeah. That's exactly what it looks like. Crazy. Well, apparently we're not going to help solve it tonight, so we'll move on. I don't know. Did you see any of Pam Bondi getting grilled by Congress?
No, I kept seeing it pop up on my live earlier, and I didn't really watch it. I didn't know that there was anything for her to be grilled about, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, she's to Epstein, the way that the DOJ fucking handled it, is what they were grilling her about, and it didn't really do her any justice today, so to say. I mean, watching some of the highlights, if you want to call it that, from the hearing, because I mean, what I did like was her spunk, so to say, is that when they were coming at her, she was giving it right back. But I just think it was coming from the wrong place with her, because she didn't like being questioned about any of it.
Yeah,
and it just is a lot of shit going on, man. That's still, with these fucking Epstein files, man. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of them. One of the things they noticed was I'm trying to think how I can explain it. What happened? Okay. She basically pulled out, it was a demo during the DOJ's, Epstein file database that somebody had pulled out. One of these Democrats, Jaya Powell, I think is how you pronounce her last name. She was grilling Bondi on the botched redactions where victims' info was leaked while perps got protected. And Bondi printed out search history of this Democratic congresswoman that she was going to show how you know, that these Congress people were just trying to look up things and nitpick. Mm-hmm. Well, what Bondi didn't realize is when she held up the paper, when she printed it out, the name of one of these on these emails, it wasn't redacted anymore. Well, the cameras in the courtroom caught that and took a picture of it and put it online. And it showed somebody's name finally that was redacted. And it was a woman by the name of, if I can pronounce this right, Kira. I don't even know. It's a Russian last name. We'll just call her Kira. Okay. So basically what this person is it's tied to like setting up things for Epstein, you know, and she is a ex-Russian gymnast turned model. Now, she wasn't just arm candy for Epstein. She was basically his on-the-ground talent scout. There were emails from her talking about finding these young, poor girls and that she would cover up for him. And she promised him, you know, at one point, like 30 girls from places around Russia, you know, asking him if certain ages were too old for him and you know, offering these hookup kind of massage parties by, you know, for big names like Elon Musk and shit. Well, what happened, like I said, was in the official DOJ Epstein files, you know, the ones that were released under the 2025 law, her name was blacked out like she was some innocent bystander. Mm-hmm. Now, why? Well, Bondi claims it's to protect uncharged parties, basically, due to lack of evidence. But those emails that they saw, I mean, that was enough evidence to not look at this person like a fucking victim.
Right.
So why were you hiding that? You know? And that's what kind of makes all of this look so fucking nuts, because a lot of times people that are being redacted are the ones that were perpetrating these crimes. So why are you covering shit up like that? And it came out on accident today, because Bondi thought she was going to have some one up by holding up some document showing that this congresswoman was doing some kind of behind the scenes research into these Epstein files, which it's like, so what?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're allowed to do. Well, apparently when Bondi printed it out on her end, it wasn't redacted. Well, she held the shit up, like I said, in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh shit, you know, so the media jumped on that quick, you know, but like I said, it just ties into the bigger mess of what are you hiding? Like, how, I don't understand how you get out of this mess if you're Pam Bondi or the Department of Justice, because just that one little screw up right there shows the type of people they were hiding, because there was no reason to be hiding this woman's name. She wasn't a victim. She was somebody helping, according to these emails, helping Epstein do whatever he was doing. So who else are they hiding?
Who else is redacted in there?
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's nuts, dude. And it I don't know. It just never ends with this shit. And I always think we're done. And the next thing you know, boom, you know, they're pulling something else up. But it's
what up, Johnny?
You know, it just what a lot of the Congress people didn't like is that the people like Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice were digging into what these other Congress people were looking at. And they're like, why? Like, why do you care so much what we're doing? And then you want to hold it up as to say, hey, we're watching you. You know what I mean? That's kind of how people took it. You want to print that out and say, hey, by the way, I saw your search history in the Epstein files. So, but it was that just some kind of tactic to let everybody know that we're watching what y'all are doing, you know? And as much as I hate to side with the Democrats on this shit, because a lot of them are loony, but I mean, they've got a point here, you know, they're looking for, according to them, full disclosure, and then we're just not getting it. You know, we're not getting it, man. Bondi's covering up for something and or somebody, in other words. So I don't know, man. I don't. And then they had a bunch of victims supposedly sitting behind Bondi in the courtroom. I say courtroom, you know, in Congress over there, and they were basically silent protests, sort of, to say, hey, they were raising their hands saying, hey, we're victims, we're here, and we've never been interviewed by the Department of Justice or anything, like they really want to get behind what was going on.
Yeah.
Well, then the big question with that is, well, why do these women not just write down the fucking names of the people who did these crimes and fucking send them into TMZ like everybody else likes to do, you know? Like what, like, so who are these people that they claim to be victims, but yet they won't say a single name? So it's all weird, you know what I mean?
It is a very odd situation.
It's all weird because, like I said, there was a handful of them women in there that claim to be victims, but yet, I mean, I understand maybe you're on, maybe it was some lawsuit that a lot of them, you know, they settled lawsuits and there's a non-disclosure. Okay, well, how about anonymous shit? Like you said, send it to somebody, send it to a news outlet. Like, these are the names that the government doesn't want you to know, but it doesn't happen. So, and it's not to say that there's not victims in this, but that's another thing that looks odd with it, you know, is these women won't even name who the fuck these people were that supposedly violated them. I don't know. It's weird. It just, none of it makes any fucking sense. And I did see, you know, not that the left is going to like it, but they're saying that Trump actually called law enforcement when all this was first going on, 2006. Yeah. Shortly after the Epstein's criminal sex charge became public, the Palm Beach police investigation, you know, it was led into them finding out all this with the sex trafficking of minors and all that shit. Well, Trump reportedly called the then chief over there and told him, thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this, was one of the quotes from Trump. And he described Epstein as disgusting and said people in New York knew about it. Trump claimed he was once around Epstein when teenagers were present and got the hell out of there. You know, he had already distanced himself from Epstein and banned him from Mar-a-Lago when all that shit went on. But this is what the FBI put into, you know, was part of these emails, that this is a conversation that they had with, you know, law enforcement from Miami back there, that Trump did call. He was one of the first people to call and say, it's about time you got this sick motherfucker. And I mean, does that exonerate him? I don't know, but it's like, it sure looks good to see that in those emails, and the left don't want to talk about it.
No,
I guess because it makes, you know, Trump, you know, look better than what they try to paint him. But I don't know, man. That's a fucking situation. You could go on and on and on and on and never get to the bottom of it. So, but anyway, I just thought it was odd. Like I say, Pam Bonnie's in there getting grilled. Really had no good answers on why they're hiding the type of people that they are when it comes to, you know, every email, they'll show that it was sent to Epstein, but they won't show who sent it. You're like, why not? Why not? It's not the victims that are sending it. So what are you hiding? If that don't tell you right there that they're covering something up, man, there's no reason to hide who sent emails when you're talking about doing illegal activity. I mean, what are you covering them up for? Like, it makes no sense.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
No, I don't either.
You know, somebody mentioned on TikTok, actually, and it was a pretty good point, you know, and they said, as demonized and villainized as, you know, like Charlie Sheen was and Hugh Hefner.
Right.
Both of them stayed off the Epstein files.
That's true. That's true. Especially Charlie Sheen, because he was a wild boy.
He was wild as fuck.
Yeah, but I hadn't heard his name at all. He brought up in that, you know. So at least he's got that going for him. Like,
so everybody hated Hugh. Everybody hated Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
Both of them are clean.
Very true. Look at that. Very true. So, I don't know, unless that's one of the names they're covering up. Yeah. I don't know. They had another email that they produced, and it was somebody telling Epstein that they were quoted, and you can see the email. It's a legit one that the FBI released. And it's saying they have all sorts of protection around your mugshot picture on Wiki. You know, talking about Wikipedia. And so we are hacking Wiki now to remove it and replace it with a photo that you sent, which will have the headline, Jeffrey Epstein, businessman, philanthropist. And he goes on to say, by the way, we also took out you in the sex offender category and removed the headlines and beginning sentence from Wiki that also stated sex offender. And now it just reads businessman and philanthropist. And then the last paragraph, we recorded the IP address of the people who are going in and changing our edits back and actually hacked the site to block them back in. That's why the site has been stable. So somebody was, making sure that his Wikipedia wasn't telling the truth, basically. So that was one of the emails they uncovered. So, this guy had some shit going on, man. It just goes so deep, man.
It does. It's nuts how much they covered up for this man.
I was going to say, he's being protected from so many angles, man. And maybe that's what Trump was talking about when he said it could cause, there's worldwide repercussions by really releasing and telling everybody exactly who was involved in this shit. That he's talking about collapsing economies and shit. Like it just like basically you don't want to know because that's how bad this shit was. So I don't know, man. It just seems like from every angle they're trying to cover up for this guy, including our current Department of Justice. I mean, it's evident that they're covering something up because of the names that are redacted from these emails. That makes no sense at all. They should all be put on blast.
Every single one of them. And if this bitch got to reset, let it reset. Fuck it.
That's it. Let it reset. Let's do it. Anyway, like you said, we can go on and on about the Epstein files all night long, but YouTube won't like that. So they don't want to hear about that shit either for some reason. But anyway, any other big news going on before we get off of here?
I don't
Slow
think
night.
so.
No, just more fucking chaos going on. That's about it. So let me see. What else we got? Nothing. Trans shooter. Fucking still ain't finding kidnapped lady. That's about it. So, all right, let's wrap it up. Thank y'all for paying attention and listening to our dumb asses for a little while. If you ain't hit subscribe yet, do it now. And we'll be back. Oh, what is today? Wednesday? Oh, yeah. We'll be back Friday. Till then, y'all be good. I'm going to bed. Peace out. Justin, tell them later.
Bye.